Yo, what is going on, everybody? Right way J, right way regime change, Black Americans, clear visions. Back with another video. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. As of lately, I decided to pick this book up. I don't know if you can see it. I know the light is kind of. Let me give it one more. 3, 2. Cool. All right. And it's about Haile Selassie. And I'm like, okay, I've heard the name Haile Selassie before, but I didn't know who he was. I just started reading this, and there was one quote from this book that just really said a lot. I felt like it was kind of talking about me in a way, but here it goes. All right, it says, give me 1 second. Okay, the emperor said in his autobiography, from the age of 13th onward, although my physical strength may not have been great, my spiritual and intellectual powers began to increase gradually, and thus had the entrance gate of this world open. And I'm like, So, your physical strength was not there, but your intellectual and your spiritual powers began to grow gradually, and the entrance gate of the world opened. Now, what that said to me was, you knew exactly who you were. You knew exactly who you were, and that's why the doors open. When you know exactly who you are, things become a lot easier to understand. When you understand what you're supposed to do, things become easier to understand. But when you are engaged with the chaos of the world today, it's, for me, excuse me, for me, it's easy to understand why people are going so crazy. It's only when you can sit down and think. Use your brain. You have a brain. Use it, please. And do not get influenced by everything that you see. Please. But I understand that it can get that way. It can become easy to get influenced by the things of the world today. Now, I know I watched the Farrakhan speech. Wow, very powerful message. Yeah, very powerful, and for it to come from a man of his caliber, I respect it. I absolutely respect it. Coming from a man of his caliber, I respect it. Absolutely. And I think, because I've been reading, because I read Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics, and I think, and I could be, but I think I could tie the two together. And by the way, this is the book right here that I'm about to use to tie in with the Farrakhan speech. Okay. With Farrakhan in total. Okay. The concepts that Claude Anderson talks about in that book, they actually applied them. The Nation of Islam, they actually applied them. And it looks like it's working. Like they're self-sustained for the most part. Could it grow to be better? Absolutely. But what they have is a cultural identity. And you need a cultural identity in order to claim your stake in the country. Because every other immigrant, or every other person, let me not use immigrant, every other person of this nation has a cultural background that they use to build their base on. And the only thing that I'm going to say is that with the nation, they have a cultural identity that they can stand on, and they can use that as the base. And with using that as a base, you can build on top of that base. But in order to build true progression, more participants have to be there. Now, I get how it can, yes, I understand the technicalities, and hey, he believes in da-da-this and he believes in da-da-da. Sir, madam, listen. What do we want? If we want freedom, if we want justice and equality, certain things will have to get put to the side on both sides. If we want freedom in this nation and freedom of our own, we have to establish a cultural identity, is what I'm saying. Now, in order for that to happen, negotiations will have to get met. Where we're like, okay, we want, like, and this is like black people on black people being like, okay, what is it that we all want, okay? And what is it that we can use as a cultural identity, okay? Walking into the game with that, now we have a foundation, okay? Now, it requires the minds, it requires the strongest of minds, the strongest and sharpest of minds to help shape what the cultural identity should be. But once we get our cultural identity completely together, and we know what it is from top to bottom with no interference from any outsiders, okay? Once the cultural identity is established, then we have a base to build on. Now we can build districts, okay? We can build districts. And in these districts will be represented by our cultural identity. It is no different than Hispanics or the Chinese. When you go to Hispanics neighborhoods, you know it is Hispanic. You know. When you go to an Asian, you will see the flags. You will see Spanish words. You will see Espanol all over. You will see that. You will know right off the rip, okay? Hispanic neighborhood. When you go to an Asian neighborhood, you will see Asian Chinatown. You will see signs written in their language. Same thing with Hispanics, written in their language. With a cultural identity, we can do the exact same thing, but it's ours. And again, we have to have a base to stand on. Before there can be little branches out here and there, we have to get the base established first, okay? Now, this has been great. I've really had fun. And I'm really glad that I took this time to get these thoughts off my chest and out of my brain, because there's a lot in here. So I have to take time, like, cause I read a lot of books. I'm not even gonna lie, I do. I read a whole lot of books. For real. But this has been great. Thank you all. 2 fingers to the next time. Right way, Jay. Right way, regime change. Black American Kings. Clear visions.